and we can only answer limited information at this time.
Can you tell us the identity of the suspect so that people in the viewing area can be on the lookout for this person? And do you have a photo of that person?
Sure. As of right now, we do not have any releasable suspect information. Like I had mentioned, there is one area of focus on Gateway that our officers have contained. We've set up a perimeter around that area, and they are in the process of evacuating residents in that area, but it is contained. It is an isolated area as well with that.
Was the officer wearing a bulletproof vest, and how long has he been on the force?
Sure, so he was wearing a bulletproof vest. It did strike an area that was not covered by the vest. As far as his tenure and all that, we'll have that information at a later time.
Did the officer fire back, or did any officer with Stockton Police fire back, and also is the suspect injured?
Yes, so no officer did fire back at that suspect. And I'm sorry, your second question.
Is the suspect injured? I'm guessing would be no.
Sure, yeah. So the officers did not shoot. We were unknown of any injuries for the suspect.
Do you feel that the officer was ambushed in any way, shape, or form by that second person in the vehicle?
Sure, we're still working on that type of deal, but it is very brazen to shoot at an officer, especially following a pursuit. So again, it's still early on in the investigation, but will be something that we're looking into.
So you have this entire hotel cordoned off. Is this part of this investigation? Are you searching for someone here too?
Sure, so we are in this area in the parking lot just behind me, just behind us we have the mobile command post with the other allied agencies in the area. They are working in this area as a command post, and then obviously the area of Gateway and Kentfield is that main primary focused area. Along those lines, there are multiple road closures in the area. We've got El Dorado north of the Calaveras that is completely shut down, so please avoid that area. March Lane eastbound to El Dorado is also being diverted northbound El Dorado at March Lane, and also some of the westbound March Lane from the area just east of us is going to be shut down as well. And then some of the neighboring agencies, the neighboring side streets are also going to be closed off. So we're asking just to please avoid the area. The incident on actually Gateway itself is contained by our SWAT personnel.
Obviously, somebody who eludes police, somebody who shoots at an officer, is likely considered armed and dangerous. Can you issue a broad warning to the greater public at large after all of this?
Sure. So yeah, definitely, it's very brazen that somebody would actually fire at an officer. That is very scary for us. It's something that we are very concerned with. For the community in its whole, we do have a broad little perimeter set up in that area where we believe somebody may be involved in that area, and that's where our primary focus is. So we do have that area contained for that public general in that general area.
And what is their link to that area? Are they staying there? Do they have a family member there, or that's just where you stop the car?
Yeah, that's the area where the pursuit ended, where the foot bail began, and so that's going to be something that we're going to be working on as far as what the involvement is and what the timing is.
Do you have canines out looking for this?
Sure, we have pretty much all hands on deck. We have crisis negotiation, we have our SWAT personnel, as well as our drone team, and we have our allied agencies that are being very supportive in helping us with this incident.
How can people living in that area, that's a pretty massive manhunt.
Sure.
And there are people that might be afraid that are watching this. How can they be calm and also help you?
Sure. So the visual presence, we have a very high presence in that area right now, and we do have that perimeter contained. So that sense of how we're escorting people out and we're evacuating that area for their safety. So if they are making announcements that are very verbal, to get that the public out safely, where we can kind of work and contain that general area.
And forgive me if you answered this, are you confident that the suspect is actually still there in that location? You're confident that that suspect is barricaded, or is it possible that he made an escape elsewhere?
As of right now, it is still early on, but we do believe we have information that we're working on that he is or she is somewhere involved in that general area.
Was this officer working independently, or did he have another officer working with him?
Still active investigation right now for those details. Those will probably be details that will come out pretty soon.
What's the protocol about responding to these incidents? Do they approach people in a buddy system, or do they do it independently?
Sure. So as far as specifics on this specific incident, as far as how the response was, like I said, they were investigating a carjacking, and then they did find a vehicle matching that description, and then the pursuit ensued.
So do we know, sorry, do we know if it's the males or females?
It's unknown at this time. It's something that we're still working on and getting that information.
Officer is a male, correct? You said
Yes, it is a male sergeant.
And then also, is it too soon to tell, or do we know what type of weapon was used? Was it a handgun? Was it a higher caliber?
It's something we'll be actively looking at as far as the shell casings that were shot. Like I said, there were multiple rounds fired at our sergeant. And so the number one thing is our sergeant is safe, but this whole process is going to be very extensive. We will be out here for quite some time. So just we're asking for the public. We do have an area contained. There is going to be a large presence. There's going to be some road closures for an extended period of time. We're asking that we just have the patience, and we'll be updating on social media, as well as we'll be talking with all of the media as well, giving those updates on the hour.
And a lot of times people want to know who the officer was, who the sergeant was in this case, because people in the public want to extend their support, that type of thing. Is that person being identified at this time, or what can you tell us about their identity?
Sure. As of right now, we'll get that information to you guys eventually. But as of right now, just the kind of the basics of why we're out here and the extent of the incident. And the main focus is that that sergeant is in stable condition.
And just to recap again, there's a lot of people joining on social media.
Sure.
This was carjacking, and the officer was tracking people down. Anybody in custody? There's one person in custody and the other person you're looking for?
So as of right now, we don't have anybody under arrest. We are actively investigating a possible person involved in a general specific area on Gateway, and we are currently setting a perimeter. We have a perimeter set up, and we have that person contained, and now we'll be working on having our crisis negotiation and our SWAT personnel try and facilitate a peaceful resolution.
And any person who might have been an accessory to this shooting, any person who might have been driving the car or involved taking off on foot as well, associated with the suspect who fired at the sergeant, you're probably actively looking for them as well?
Sure, yeah. So still actively looking for all persons involved in this incident.
That was my question. If
Sure.
there's somebody in the car shooting and somebody else, that
Yeah.
there could be two
So
people.
still early on, but that's something that we're going to be working on and getting that information, and we can definitely update you guys.
Can you have the officer, was he a rookie officer, a veteran officer? Was he new to the force?
Sure. So he's a sergeant, so he has promoted, and so we're gonna. That's the only information we have as of right now, but we'll be sure to update that with you guys.
And you're confident, given that he's in stable condition, that he's going to recover from his injuries?
Yes, that's as of right now. That's what we have the information. Yes, thankfully.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, we will. Aside from the road closures and all that, and the presence, we will be out here for an extended period of time. We're asking that the community just bear with us. If any officers do help with any commands of getting you out safely, we ask that we encourage to accept those peaceful relocations of that, as well as just being out here. We'll try to keep you guys updated as much as we can. So just bear with us. I'll kind of on the hour of every hour, I'll either send a group text out just to let you guys know, hey, there's an update develop or some other information. Feel free to text me, and if you got other questions and whatnot, I'll be with our command post and just be waiting to get any updates for you guys.
Okay. Thank
Anything
you.
else?
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, can you just text me so that I get?
Were they able to live stream, do you know? Okay, I don't know if they did or not. They said 10 minutes ago, I don't know when we started.